Welcome to the Saga Voice. Today, we journey to the frozen halls of Asgard to meet every important Norse god in just 10 minutes. From the Allfather Odin to the Trickster Loki, we'll explore the gods who shaped Viking culture and still captivate us today. These aren't the sanitized versions. These are the brutal, complex deities the Vikings actually worshipped. Let's enter the 9 realms. Odin, the All-Father. Odin rules Asgard, but he's no benevolent king. He's the god of wisdom, war, death, and magic, and he sacrificed everything for knowledge. He hung himself from Yggdrasil for 9 days to learn the runes, gave up an eye to drink from the well of wisdom, and constantly seeks to delay Ragnarok. His 2 ravens, Hugin and Munin, bring him information from across the realms. He's calculating, ruthless, and obsessed with preventing the inevitable end of the world. But Odin's quest for knowledge goes even darker. He practices cider, a form of magic considered unmanly by Viking standards, showing he'll abandon even cultural honor for power. He wanders Midgard in disguise as an old traveler, testing heroes and gathering the bravest warriors who die in battle to join his army in Valhalla. These Einherjar will fight beside him at Ragnarok. He's literally building an army of the dead. But for all his preparation, Odin knows he cannot win. He's seen his own death in prophecy, devoured by Fenrir at Ragnarok. Every sacrifice, every scheme, every warrior gathered merely delays the inevitable. This makes him the most tragic of all Norse gods, the wisest being in existence, cursed to know that all his wisdom cannot save him. Thor, god of thunder. The most popular Norse god, Thor protects both gods and humans with his hammer Mjolnir. Unlike Marvel's version, Norse Thor has red hair, a massive appetite, and a quick temper. He's the working-class hero, strong, straightforward, and always fighting giants. He rides a chariot pulled by 2 goats he can eat and resurrect. At Ragnarok, he'll kill the world serpent Jormungandr, but die from its poison. Thor is the people's god in ways Odin never could be. While Odin schemes in his hall, Thor actively defends Midgard from the constant threat of frost giants. Farmers prayed to Thor for protection and good harvests. His hammer Mjolnir was so iconic that Vikings wore hammer amulets the way Christians wore crosses. He represents the Viking ideal of direct action over cunning. When there's a problem, Thor's solution is usually to hit it with his hammer. But Thor isn't just brute strength. His belt Megginjar doubles his already incredible power, and his iron gloves Jarngreip let him wield Mjolnir, which no one else can lift. He once drank so much of the ocean that he caused the tides, and lifted what he thought was a cat, actually Jormungandr in disguise. These aren't just tales of strength, but of a god who constantly tests himself against impossible challenges, knowing that one day he'll face his final, fatal test. Baldur, the Beautiful. The most beloved god, Baldur is Odin's son and represents purity and light. His mother Frigg made everything in existence swear not to harm him, except mistletoe, which she thought too insignificant. Loki exploited this, and Baldur's death set Ragnarok in motion. His death is considered the beginning of the end of the gods. Freya, goddess of love and war. Don't mistake Freya for a delicate love goddess. She's a warrior who claims half of all slain warriors for her hall, Folkvangr. The other half go to Odin's Valhalla. She's the goddess of love, beauty, fertility, gold, and cider magic. She owns a cloak of falcon feathers, rides a chariot pulled by cats, and once slept with 4 dwarfs to obtain her precious necklace Brisingamen. She's fierce, independent, and answers to no one. Freyr, god of prosperity. Freyr's twin brother controls fertility, harvests, and peace. He owns a ship that can be folded into his pocket and a boar with golden bristles. He gave up his magical sword for a chance to marry the giantess Gerd. This sacrifice will cost him at Ragnarok, where he fights without his greatest weapon. Nord, god of the sea. Father to Freya and Freyr, Nord rules over seas, wind, and wealth from fishing and sailing. His failed marriage to the giantess Skadi shows the incompatibility between sea and mountain. She wanted the mountains, he wanted the coast, and neither could compromise. Tyr, god of war and justice. Before Thor, Tyr was the primary war god. He's the bravest of all gods, proven when he placed his hand in the wolf Fenrir's mouth as a pledge of good faith. Knowing the gods were tricking Fenrir with magical chains, when Fenrir realized the deception, he bit off Tyr's hand. At Ragnarok, Tyr and the hound Garm will kill each other in battle. Heimdall, the Watchman. Guardian of the Rainbow Bridge Bifrost, Heimdall can hear grass growing and see for hundreds of miles. He needs less sleep than a bird and will blow his horn Gallarhorn to signal the beginning of Ragnarok. He and Loki are destined to kill each other at the world's end, a fitting end for the Watchman and the Trickster. Vidar, the Silent God. Odin's son Vidar rarely speaks but possesses incredible strength. He wears a special shoe made from all the leather scraps collected throughout time. At Ragnarok, when Fenrir devours Odin, Vidar will avenge his father by tearing the wolf's jaws apart. He's one of the few gods prophesied to survive the final battle. Frigg, Queen of Asgard. Odin's wife and the only one allowed to sit on his throne, Frigg knows all fates, but reveals nothing. She's the goddess of marriage, motherhood, and domestic arts. Her grief over Baldur's death and her failed attempt to prevent it shows even divine mothers cannot protect their children from destiny. Sif, goddess of the harvest. Thor's wife, famous for her golden hair. When Loki cut it off as a prank, Thor nearly killed him. To make amends, Loki had dwarves craft new golden hair that grows like real hair, and in the process, several of the gods' greatest treasures were created, including Mjolnir itself. Idunn, keeper of youth. Idunn guards the golden apples that keep the gods young and immortal. When Loki tricks her into leaving Asgard, the gods rapidly age. Her importance cannot be overstated. Without her, the gods are mortal. Loki, the Trickster. Neither fully god nor fully giant, Loki is Odin's blood brother and the most complex Norse figure. He's clever, charismatic, and utterly unpredictable. He's helped the gods countless times, securing Thor's hammer, Odin's spear, and other treasures. But he's also caused disasters, including Baldur's death. He's father to the wolf Fenrir, the serpent Jormungandr, and Hel, goddess of death. At Ragnarok, he'll lead the giants against the gods. He's not evil, he's chaos itself. Hel, goddess of death. Loki's daughter, cast into the underworld by Odin. She rules over those who die of sickness or old age, not the glorious dead. Half her body is living, half is corpse-like. She refused to release Baldur from death unless everything in existence wept for him. And one giantess, likely Loki in disguise, refused, sealing Baldur's fate. Fenrir, the Great Wolf. son of Loki, this monstrous wolf grows so powerful the gods must bind him with magical chains. The gods tricked him, and Tyr lost his hand in the process. At Ragnarok, Fenrir breaks free and devours Odin himself. He represents the chaos that even gods cannot permanently contain. Jormungandr, the world serpent. Another of Loki's children, this serpent was thrown into the ocean by Odin, where it grew so large that it encircles the world and bites its own tail. Thor has tried to kill it multiple times but failed. At Ragnarok, Thor and Jormungandr kill each other. Thor slays the serpent but walks only 9 steps before dying from its venom.
Skoll and Hati, the Wolf Brothers. These two wolves eternally chase the sun and moon across the sky. At Ragnarok, they finally catch and devour them, plunging the world into darkness. They represent the inevitable nature of cosmic destruction. Bragi, god of poetry. The skaldic poet of the gods, Bragi's words can enchant and inspire. He's married to Idun and represents the Viking value of preserving deeds through poetry and story. In Viking culture, dying without your deeds being recorded in song was a fate worse than death. Forseti, god of justice. Son of Baldur, Forseti presides over disputes and brings resolution. His hall has silver pillars and a golden roof, and all who come before him leave with their conflicts resolved. He represents the Viking legal system and the importance of fair judgment. The Norns, weavers of fate. 3 beings named Urd, past, Verdandi, present, and Skuld, future, who weave the threads of fate at the base of Yggdrasil. Even Odin cannot change what they decree. They water the world tree and determine the destiny of gods and men alike. The Norse gods aren't immortal, all-powerful, or even particularly moral. They're warriors fighting a battle they know they'll lose. Ragnarok isn't a possibility, it's a certainty. Every god knows how they'll die, yet they fight anyway. That's the essence of Norse mythology. Courage in the face of inevitable doom. These gods reflected Viking values, strength, honor, wisdom gained through sacrifice, and the importance of facing your fate with courage. From Odin's relentless pursuit of knowledge to Thor's protection of humanity, from Loki's chaos to Tyr's sacrifice, these gods showed that even divine beings struggle, fail, and face their end. But here's the beautiful part. After Ragnarok, the world is reborn. Vidar and a few others survive. Baldur returns from hell. Life begins again. The cycle continues. That's every important Norse god explained. Which one resonates with you most? Let me know in the comments and subscribe to the Saga Voice for more epic mythology. Until next time, may Odin's wisdom guide you and Thor's strength protect you.